Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. This is the story of a man who became very, very rich. Some people say he is the richest person in the world right now. His name is Elon Musk. He is known for having big dreams and making them real. He talks about helping humanity on Earth with new technology. But he also has a plan to build a city on another planet, Mars. He wants humans to live there one day. These are very big ideas that many people find exciting. But how did one person get so much money and power? This is a question with different answers. Some people believe he was lucky because his family was wealthy. They point to stories about his father having a mine that produced green stones called emeralds. They say this family money helped him start his businesses. However, Elon Musk tells a different story. He says his relationship with his father was difficult. He claims he moved to North America when he was a teenager with only a little money. He says he had to work hard and study to get where he is today. This difference in stories is often discussed. Was his start easy or difficult? We will follow his path from the past to the present. He first became known in the early days of the internet. He started a company that helped people find things online. After that, he started companies that build electric cars like Tesla and rockets for space travel. Like SpaceX, his journey shows big risks and big successes. We can learn about having a vision for the future and working hard to achieve it. Today, people like Elon Musk have a lot of power in the world. They lead big companies and can influence many things. The political situation is also important. A man named Donald Trump is the president of the United States again. In this time, the actions and ideas of powerful business leaders have great importance. This book will tell the story of Elon Musk, his journey, his ideas, and his influence in the world today. 2. A start in a new country. He was born in South Africa. His early years were spent there. There is often talk about how he first got his money. Some people say his family was wealthy and that his father owned an emerald mine. They say he got money from this mine. But he has said that this is not true. He says he did not take money from his father, who he says was not a good person. When he was a young man, a teenager, he chose to leave South Africa. He moved to North America when he was 17 years old. He did not have a lot of money with him, only about $2,000. He went to Canada first. His mother was from Canada, and he got Canadian citizenship. This also helped him avoid joining the military in South Africa at that time. His real goal was to move to the United States. After 3 years in Canada, he moved to the US. He went to university there. He studied at the University of Pennsylvania. He was a good student and earned 2 different degrees. One was in economics, which is a subject about how money and business work. The other degree was in physics, which is a science that studies nature and the world. He had been interested in computers and technology from a young age. He learned computer programming by himself when he was 10 years old. When he was 12, he created a computer game and sold it. In the 1990s, when he was at university, the internet was a new and exciting thing. He believed the internet would change the world a lot. He wanted to be part of this change. He thought about how to start working with the internet. There were not many internet companies back then. he decided the best way was to start his own company. He thought they needed to build a business that could make money quickly. He started this first company with his brother. His brother's name is Kimball. They used their own money and also got money from people who invested in their idea. His father also gave them a small investment of about $20,000. Their company was called Zip2. It was a service that helped newspapers put their city guides online, like maps and business lists. This was the very beginning of his business life in a new country. 3. First big money. Elon Musk and his brother Kimball started a company called Zip2. Their idea was to make an online guide for cities. This guide would help people find businesses and places using maps. It was like an online yellow pages with maps. This was in the time when the internet was new and growing fast. To start Zip2, they needed money. They talked to different people and companies to invest in their idea. Many investors gave them money. Elon's father also gave them some money. He invested about $20,000 in their company. From the start, Elon was very focused. He wanted the company to be successful, but he also wanted to be the main person connected to the company. He wanted people to see him as the leader and the face of Zip2. He liked getting public attention. However, things were not always easy. Elon had disagreements with the people he worked with, his partners and investors. Sometimes they did not agree on the direction of the company or how things should be done. There was a plan for Zip2 to join with another company called City Search. But Elon did not want this because he would not be in charge. He wanted to have control. This need for control caused problems and stopped the merger. This was a pattern that would happen again in his future companies. Elon wanted to have the credit and be in control. Despite these problems, Zip2 was successful. A big computer company named Compaq became interested in Zip2. In 1999, Compaq decided to buy Zip2. They paid a large amount of money for the company. The sale was for $307 million in cash. Zip2 also had some company stock, which was worth about $30 million more. Elon got money from this sale. He received about $22 million. This was his first time getting a very large amount of money. He was still a young man, around 28 years old. He became a millionaire for the first time. Getting this money was a big step for him. But he did not stop working. He did not keep this money to live a comfortable life. Instead, he decided to use almost all of the $22 million for his next big idea. He wanted to start a new company that would work with money and banking online. This next company would be called XCOM. 4. The PayPal story. After selling his first company, Zip2, he had money. He decided to put almost all of this money into a new company. He called this company XCOM. His plan was very big. He wanted to change the whole banking system using the internet. He believed people would use XCOM for everything related to money online. But starting XCOM was not easy. He had problems with the people who started the company with him. They did not always agree. Also, the technology for XCOM had problems in the beginning. There was a big security issue. It was possible to send money from different bank accounts using only the account number. This was a serious problem. One person who started the company with him was very unhappy. This person left the company and many other workers left too. Elon said they would just hire new people. Later, he became the main boss of the company himself, wanting to have full control. Com then joined with another company called Confinity. This other company had a popular way to send money online. It was called PayPal. Now the joined company had two names, XCOM and PayPal. People inside the company argued about which name to use. Most people liked the name PayPal more than XCOM. In the end, the company decided to use the name PayPal. Even after the companies joined, there were still problems. Some people who were in charge of the company, the board members, thought Elon was not doing a good job as the boss. One person on the board said Elon was hiding serious money problems from them. While he was away on a trip, the board decided to make a change. They removed him from being the boss. Another person, Peter Thiel, became the new boss. Even though he was no longer the leader, he still owned a large part of the company. Later, in the year 2002, a very big online company called eBay bought PayPal. This sale was a huge success for many people involved. For Elon, it meant he made a lot of money. He received $180 million from the sale. This was a very large amount of money at that time. With this money, he could start thinking about his next big ideas. 5. Looking at the stars. After selling the company PayPal, Elon Musk had a large amount of money. It was $180 million. He decided to use this money to work on things he had dreamed about since he was a young boy. He thought a lot about the future of humankind. He believed 3 areas were most important: the internet, using clean energy for cars and transport, and exploring space. He had a very big idea that humans should not just live on Earth forever. He thought it was important for people to be able to live on more than one planet, to protect the future of life. So, with his money from PayPal, he started a new company in the year 2003. He named it SpaceX. The main goal of SpaceX was to make it possible for people to travel to space more easily and cheaply than ever before. A key part of his plan was to build rockets that could fly to space and then come back to Earth safely to be used again. If a rocket could land back on Earth without breaking, it could be used repeatedly for more trips. This would make sending things and people to space much less expensive than using rockets only one time. Starting SpaceX was not simple at all. It was a very difficult and risky business, and many people thought it was impossible. The company faced many big problems in the first few years. Building and launching rockets into space is full of complex technical challenges and dangers. There were times when the rockets did not work correctly and failed during launch, sometimes exploding. These early problems cost a lot of money and time, and it was a difficult period, but Elon Musk and his team did not give up. They kept working hard, learning from their mistakes with each try. After some time and a lot of effort, SpaceX began to succeed. They showed that they could build reliable rockets and spacecraft. Because of this hard work and growing success, they won important contracts from NASA. NASA is the space agency for the United States government. They needed a reliable way to send food, equipment, and other important supplies to the International Space Station. This is a large place where astronauts from different countries live and work in space, orbiting high above the Earth. In the year 2012, SpaceX achieved something very special and historic. They successfully sent their Falcon 9 rocket on a mission to deliver supplies to the space station. It was the first time that a private company, not a government space agency, successfully sent a spacecraft to the ISS. This was a big step and proved that SpaceX was a serious and capable player in the world of space travel. Elon Musk has an even bigger dream for the future, looking far beyond the space station and Earth's orbit. He wants to build a city on the planet Mars. He strongly believes it is important for humans to have a place to live on another planet. He thinks this would help make sure that humans continue to live for a very, very long time, protecting the future of all species from potential disasters on Earth. SpaceX is working hard every day to make this big, long-term dream of a self-sustaining city on Mars come true. They are developing bigger rockets and advanced technology to carry people and everything they need to live and build a city on Mars one day. 6. The car company. After selling PayPal, the man with big ideas looked for his next step. He thought about 3 main things that would change the world: the internet, energy, and space. He had already worked with the internet and started a space company. Now he looked at energy. He decided to put money into a company that was already making electric cars. This company was called Tesla. It was started by 2 men, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. They had a plan to build cars that used electricity instead of gas. But the man who invested, let's call him Elon, had his own ideas. He wanted people to see him as the most important person at Tesla, the one with the big vision. He wanted to be known as a founder, even though he joined later. He sent emails and wrote a special blog post called the Top Secret Master Plan to share his vision for the company. He wanted to be the public face of Tesla. This caused problems. The original CEO, Martin Eberhard, was already the public face. There was a disagreement, a struggle for control. Elon wanted to be in charge and get the credit. This fight became bigger and led to Eberhard leaving the company. After this, there were legal problems like lawsuits. In the end, an agreement was made. This agreement was important because it said that Elon could legally call himself a co-founder of Tesla. For him, getting this title on paper was very important for having power and control. Elon had said he did not want to be the CEO, the boss. But after Eberhard left, 2 other people were CEO for a short time. Then, Elon himself became the CEO. This happened in the year 2008, a very difficult time for money around the world. Many companies had problems, and Tesla needed a lot of money to keep going. Getting money was hard because of the financial crisis. The usual ways to get money were not working well. But there was a program from the government that could give loans to companies making cars that were better for the environment. Elon saw this as a chance. He started talking a lot in the news and to the public. He wanted everyone to think Tesla should get a government loan. But at that time, Tesla had only made a small number of cars. It was hard to show the government that they could build many cars and really help the environment. Tesla was in a difficult situation. They needed to show they had support from other big companies, especially old, well-known car makers. They needed a partner. A big car company like Daimler, which makes Mercedes cars, could help. But Daimler might not invest unless Tesla was sure to get the government loan. Elon had a clever idea. He announced that the government loan was approved even before it really was. By saying it was a done deal, he helped Daimler feel confident to work with Tesla. Having Daimler as a partner then helped the government feel confident that Tesla could do the job. So they gave Tesla the loan. This was a smart move. It brought needed money to Tesla, and it also made the company look stronger to the public and other investors. A few months later, Tesla started the process to sell shares to the public. The government loan was a very important step for the company's future. 7. A lot of money. Tesla's value started to grow a lot. One reason was how it made money. Tesla made electric cars. Cars that use less pollution get special help from governments. These are like credits. Tesla earned many of these credits because its cars were electric. Other car companies needed these credits because their cars made more pollution. So Tesla sold its credits to these other companies. Selling these credits helped Tesla make money. Sometimes this was the main way Tesla made a profit. This helped the company look stronger to people who wanted to invest. Then, the price of Tesla shares started to rise very fast. In 1 year, 2020, the share price went up by 720%. This was a huge jump. In the first weeks of the next year, 2021, the price went up another 20%. This big increase in the share price made the owner of many shares the richest person in the world for a time. He also used social media a lot. One time, he wrote on social media that he was thinking about making Tesla a private company. He said the money was ready. This caused problems. A judge later said this message was not true and made the share price go up unfairly. This cost a lot of money in damages. The world changed in 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many people stayed home. This time also helped his wealth grow. Banks put a lot of money into the economy. People looked for places to invest. Tesla was one company they put money into. At the start of the pandemic, one share of Tesla was worth about $120. About 1.5 years later, it was worth 10 times more. This made the owner of the shares much, much richer. The person who owned many Tesla shares did not take a big salary. He said his cash was very low. Instead, he took loans. He used his Tesla shares as a guarantee for these loans. If Tesla's value went down a lot, he could lose his shares and have problems. Most companies do not let their leaders do this, but Tesla allowed it. Taking loans against shares is a way to get money without it being seen as income for taxes. He often talked about the future of Tesla. He said that one big thing would make Tesla worth even more money: cars that can drive themselves completely. He called this full self-driving. He said this technology was very important. It was the difference between Tesla being worth a lot of money and being worth almost nothing. However, making cars drive themselves safely is very difficult. The technology is still not perfect and has had problems. Even with the problems, the high value of Tesla shares and other companies he owns helped him become one of the richest people ever. His wealth comes a lot from the promises he makes about the future, like cars that drive themselves and rockets that go to Mars. 8. Power and the future. He is now one of the richest people in history. He has more money than almost anyone before him. His wealth comes from his companies, especially Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI. SpaceX, which makes rockets and works in space, has a very high value, one of the highest for a private company in the world, worth hundreds of billions of dollars. His company XAI, which works with advanced computer learning, is also worth many billions of dollars. These companies, along with Tesla, make his total wealth very large, more than $400 billion. Because he has so much money and owns a very big online platform where many people share ideas, he has a lot of power. He uses his social media to tell people his ideas and his opinions on many topics, from technology to politics. This helps him influence what many people around the world think about different things. He can talk directly to millions of people every day. His ideas about politics have changed over time. Before, some political leaders saw him in a good way and talked about his work positively. Now, he supports different political people and ideas that are sometimes far from his earlier views. He is an important person in the political world and talks with political leaders. He has influence in this world, especially during times with leaders like President Trump. His story of becoming so rich and powerful is not simple. He became successful from his work starting with the internet, then with electric cars, and now with rockets for space travel. He had big dreams for the future of humanity, like building a city on Mars, and worked very, very hard for many years to make these dreams happen. He took many large risks with his money and his companies, sometimes putting almost all his money into a new idea, like XCOM or SpaceX in the early days. But his story also has controversy and problems. Not everyone agrees with how he does things or how he uses his power. There have been disagreements with partners and difficult situations with his companies and workers. Some people say he is too powerful or that his actions can cause problems for others. In the future, he will likely continue to be a very important and powerful person in the world. His companies are working on big ideas for space travel, building cities on other planets, and creating new computer intelligence. He will likely keep using his wealth and power to influence technology and global ideas. His journey shows how having a vision and working very hard can lead to great success, but also how great wealth and power can bring controversy, risks, and new challenges for the future.